Greetings to each and every one of you watching this video today. Believe me, at the end of the video, your life is going to be changed because I'm going to talk about something that is very, very important, something life changing. I'll be talking about culture in a way that you've never understood it before. I'm going to break down the meaning of culture, where it comes from, why it is important. Who gave us culture? Who said we have to have culture? So today, your life is going to change for the better. And don't forget to share this video with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family. Make sure that it reaches everybody out there because today's message is life changing. In our culture, we talk about Ubuntu. I am because you are. That is a Zulu word. In Sesotho is Botho. So Ubuntu says the fact that I exist, you exist, and the fact that you exist, I exist. I am because you are. The root cult in culture means a group of people who have separated themselves. But in our definition of our culture, it's about the entire community, the entire village coming together to do things in a certain way. That is culture. So, where did it all begin? Where did culture come from? So, in the beginning, there was a spirit, and the spirit wanted to come to this plane, this three-dimension world that we're living in. But we know that we're living in a physical dimension. So, a spirit cannot exist on this plane, it needs a body. So, bodies were created, not one body, but bodies were created, and this one spirit existed in each and every body that was created. This is just a body, this is a flesh, this is an avatar that you need in order for you to exist here. And we all know that we are all spirit beings living in a physical body. So now, when these bodies are created, or when these people start to exist, they realize that they've got needs. We know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that when you are living on this earth, you need to have food, you need to have clothes, you need to have shelter. The needs are many in this modern day. But then the people realize that, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat. Oh, I'm naked, I need to be covered up. And I need a place to put my head. I need to rest sometimes. I need to lie down. I need to be with the people that I love in one place. So in that way, people came together, and the other one said, oh, there's fruit on the tree. Let's go plug in and eat. And somebody said, oh, we can use this material to cover ourselves up. And somebody said, oh, we can take trees and whatever and build our and houses for ourselves. So in a way of trying to fulfill the needs, people came together. So this is how culture began. Culture is about people coming together to fulfill a need or needs in order for them to live, to survive, to experience this life. Needs have to be taken care of. And people realize that for me to fulfill my needs, I need others. I can't do it on my own. I can't know everything. I can't be talented in everything. Somebody is good at growing food, at cooking food. Somebody is good at designing clothes. Somebody is good at designing houses or shelter. So we need each other. We work together. So this is how people came together and form culture. And in culture, it's not only about needs, but there are certain customs and traditions. That is the practices of culture. So we do the same thing, but in a different way. The end goal is the same. So depending on each family, each clan, or each tribe, people do things differently. But to try and achieve the same goal. So it's all about ideas. When somebody says, no, but maybe we can change things here and there, let's do them this way because it works for us, depending on the environment, depending on the need, depending on where you live, right? So now in culture, there are practices, customs, and traditions. We know that, for example, when there's a funeral, or when somebody has passed away, there are certain things that we do. There are certain rituals that we practice. When a child is born or when there's a wedding, there are cultural practices that we do, and they are different from one clan to another. In culture, there's also history, because everything that we do is passed from one generation to the other. The forefathers or our ancestors knew how to grow food, and they taught this to their children, and their children taught it to their children. So as we come together economically, we need to communicate. So there's also communication in culture. We communicate in different ways. And in the beginning, they said we communicated telepathically. We can read each other's mind and know what the other person is thinking. So we communicate through telepathy, through words, through signs, through body language. We communicate through artworks, through writings. We communicate, in many ways. These days we can communicate through emails, we can communicate through social media, we can use a telephone, we can use a fax. So there are many ways to get the message across. So when you need to fulfill a certain need, you realize that, oh, somebody has a phone, I can use that phone to communicate to somebody else. I can use an email to make requests, right? So communication is also important in culture. So the respect comes in, because we have to communicate. You realize that I need my parents, and the parents realize we need the children. We are all important. So we communicate in a respectful way. In our culture, we know how the elders have to speak to the children, and how we as the children have to speak to our elders, because it's part and parcel of the customs and tradition of our culture. In certain cultures, they say, don't look uh, away when somebody's speaking to you, right? But in our culture, we know that they say that don't look adults or elders in the eye. So when they speak to you, you have to look away. So we do things differently, but the end goal is the same. So culture has to do with customs and traditions, with needs, with communication, with history. Everything that we do, we learned from our parents. I speak Sesotho. I learned this language from my parents. They learned this language from their parents. So it's passed from one generation to another. So you cannot say, I'm a cultural person, without talking about history, talking about your ancestors, those who came before you, because everything that you do, you were taught by those who came before you. And you are also going to teach your children and your children's children, and your children, they're going to pass this to their children as well. So the point that I'm trying to make is that in order for us to come together as a people and win, to create wealth, we need each other. We need to come together. We need to realize that I am because you are. Without you, I am nothing. We understand that I have a responsibility towards you, to help you, to support you, to love you, to care for you, to be there for you. Hence, when we raise children, it takes a village. It's not just about you, it's about everyone else. My children are your children, your parents are my parents. That is our culture, that is our way of life. Economically, we cannot do without each other. We need to support each other's businesses, and they also need to support your business, or whatever initiative that you're taking, whatever project that you are doing. The entire village, the entire community has to come together, because they understand that when you win, we win. When you fail, we fail. All the other races out there, they understand this except us. So when did we lose our culture? What happened to us? Why is it that we can easily turn our backs on our way of life. It is because of colonization. It's because of white supremacy. But I'm not blaming them. I blame us because we listened to them. We believed them. Everything that they told us, we took it as the gospel truth. And we forgot who we are. We forgot the teachings of our elders. We have to take the blame. And we need to understand that we can't be at the bottom of the food chain forever. We can't live in poverty forever. But in order to change our situation and our lifestyle, in order to be able to live a legacy for our children, it starts now with us understanding that another Black person is not my enemy. It's not something to use and abuse. That's not a doormat. That is me. Because the same spirit that lives in me exists in them. We are all connected. We have been lied to that you are educated, you have a better job. Oh, you are a Christian. Oh, you are a Muslim. She's poor, you're rich. So we focused a lot on the things that don't matter. By abandoning our culture, we became a people who always complain and blame and being petty. Black people are petty. We like to focus on the little things, especially the things that divide us. White people are able to come together, even if they are of different religion, different social background, economic background, but for their survival, they're able to put their differences aside and work together. But we can't. We're so focused on petty things. It is because you don't understand your culture. You don't understand that you are the first and the original people. We created culture. Everyone out there copied everything from us. They learned from us and then in turn came back and said, no, this is wrong, this is evil. Yet they have taken our culture, our customs and traditions, and they have applied on themselves, and they are winning. They are successful. They are rich. They are wealthy. And we are not. It is because whenever we see somebody who looks like us, we become angry. We become shameful. We don't want to help each other. So in order to win economically, we need to organize ourselves as a people. In my next video, I'll be talking about ancestry, because in culture, there's ancestry. In culture, there's God. Because we understand that religion is something that was taught to us. Before there was religion, we understood this one thing, that there's God, ancestors, and people. Mudimu, Badimu, le batho. So there was this hierarchy that we understood so well. This trinity was our way of life. It was the cornerstone of our culture and our beliefs. But when we abandon that, when we go out there and adopt other gods that we don't know, then we became fragmented, splintered, divided, scattered. And it is time that we come together. So the only thing that can bring us together as a people is culture. It is the glue. So stay tuned to this channel when I speak about ancestors. Who are they really? What are ancestors? We are taught that no, ancestors are evil. They're dead people. So another life-changing video is coming. Catch you in the next video.